Let's go.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be part of it.
The Bronx. The Bronx.
Are longing to stray
What's good? What's good?
through the very heart of it.
The Bronx. The Bronx.
In a city that doesn't sleep.
What's good today, October the 25th, 2024. It is a Friday afternoon, and we are hours away from game one of the World Series,
Little town blue.
where the Los Angeles Dodgers will take on my New York Yankees, aka the Bronx Bombers. Tonight, game one, in what should be a great World Series. Big matchup, a lot of history involved in this series. Um, these teams have met 11 times, in history of Major League Baseball. And the Yankees have won 8, and the Dodgers have won 3. Today will be the 12th meeting. The game will start approximately 8:08 p.m. on the East Coast, 5:08 on the West Coast. And the game will be in LA for games 1 and 2. Then comes back here to the Bronx for games 3, 4, and game 5 if necessary. And if there is a game 6 and 7, it'll ship back to Los Angeles. So let's get to it. Game 1 tonight. Like I said before, these teams have met 11 times. The last times these two teams faced in the World Series, it was back in 1981 where the Dodgers won 4 games to 2. It was a great series. The Yankees won the first 2 games in that series, and then they ended up losing the next 4. All 3 games that the Yankees lost, or let's just say the Dodgers won, were by 1 run, except for game 6 was a controversial manager's decision in that game. It was a tie game of 1-1. And, in that World Series, there's no DH. So the pitcher had to hit. And the manager, I forgot who was pitching. Oh, my God, I just had it. Well, the manager substituted pinch hit for the pitcher in like the 4th inning. And they were relying on the bullpen. And the Yankee bullpen in that series did not play so great. They did not pitch well, and it went to haunt them, and the Yankees ended up losing that game 9-2. And go figure, the pinch hitter, I forgot who they pinch hit it. I forgot the pitcher that pinch hit it, and I forgot the hitter. I just had it, but he flied out, and nothing happened. So he didn't even capitalize on the pinch hit. So the Dodgers won that series back in 1981, and now here we are, 2024, and they meet again. The Yankees Dodgers, history goes back to when the Dodgers were here in New York. They were the Brooklyn Dodgers, right? And most of the about 4, it's been tied 2 games to 2 in the World Series matchup ever since the Dodgers moved to LA. Before that, the Yankees have won pretty much every game except 1. Back in when they had Jackie Robinson, and Jackie Robinson only won 1 World Series versus the Yankees. So, that's back then. We're talking about the 40s and 50s, and then, in the 60s. So the Dodgers won in 1955. That was where Jackie Robinson was on that team. And they won 1963. That was the first time they beat the Yankees when they were the Los Angeles Dodgers. And we just spoke about 1981. Was the last time they made it with the Dodgers, and then the Yankees won in back-to-back in 1977 and 1978 when they had Reggie Jackson. And yeah, man, this is going to be a great series. I think this is what Major League Baseball wanted. If it was not Yankees Mets, Major League Baseball wanted Yankees Dodgers for sure. I mean, this is the series of the 2 biggest markets, right? 2 big cities. You're talking about New York, talking about Los Angeles. And go figure, the two biggest stars in baseball right now is Otani and Judge, right? So I mean, what else could you ask for in a World Series? I mean, I don't remember a World Series in a while where you had most likely the MVPs going at each other in the World Series. There's no doubt in my mind that Otani's going to be the National League MVP, and there's no doubt in my mind that Aaron Judge will be the American League MVP. So go figure. One is playing pretty well in the postseason, and one is not playing oh so well. Judge has been struggling in the playoffs. In the AL Championship Series, he started to heat up a little bit, had a home run, but Otani has played pretty well throughout the playoffs. So let's see if that continues. Not going to make a prediction just yet. Just want to go over some facts. I just said the biggest stars of the era of this era, Otani and Judge. Let's not talk about let's talk about also not only the biggest stars, but maybe a couple of players who may be top 10 in baseball, period, are on their teams respectively as well, right? I mean, Mookie Betts might be, is probably the Dodgers' second best player, and he's a top 10 player. Juan Soto for the Yankees is the Yankees' second best hitter, second best player, and go figure, he's probably top 10 in baseball as well. Juan Soto on his contract year. After this year, we don't know if he resigns the Yankees, but he's going to make a ton of money next season. For whoever he plays for, and that includes if possibly the Yankees resign. Juan Soto already won a World Series. He won one with the Nationals. He had a decent series as well. I mean, this kid. I mean, I say kid because I'm in my 40s, almost 50. But this man has been phenomenal for the Yankees, especially this postseason. Right. Big time stars. We just talk about that. We've had some big history in the series. I'll note one. I mean, the only perfect game that's ever been thrown in a World Series was a Yankees Dodgers World Series, where Don Larson had a complete perfect game, versus the Dodgers Game 5 back in 1956. The Yankees ended up winning that series 4-3. Game 5, the series was tied 2-2. And the Yankees went up 3-2. Dodgers ended up winning Game 6, and the Yankees won Game 7. Let's go over some of the stats. We just spoke about Otani and Judge and Betts and Soto. Betts in the postseason is hitting 295. He's got 4 home runs, 12 RBIs. That's sick, right? In 11 games, that's pretty sick. Otani, right, batting 286, 10 RBIs, 3 home runs. Get this, 11 walks. He's been walked 11 times, right? Also struck out 17 times, but, that's phenomenal. And then the stats to note, Tommy Edman, the shortstop of the Dodgers, he's hitting 341 in this postseason. And, he's got only 1 home run, and he's got 12 RBIs as well. Sick numbers for these big Dodger hitters. What's scary is Freddie Freeman, the first baseman of the Dodgers. He's a phenomenal player. He's struggling. He's only hitting 219, no home runs, and 1 RBI. So, that's a little scary because if he gets hot, that's another big bat that the Dodgers have that can, really be scary. Also, the catcher, Will Smith, only batting 158. You're right. He's got 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. Still 2 home runs is not bad. And most of these games, most of these guys, they played 11 games, right, in the playoffs. So, those are stats to note. Yankee hitting. Let's go to Yankee hitting. I mentioned Aaron Judge struggling in the playoffs. Aaron Judge is hitting only 161. That's pretty bad. He's got 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, struck out 13 times. So we definitely need, if you're a Yankee fan like I am, we definitely need Aaron Judge, our team captain, to do better. The highlight the guy, I know everybody's looking at Juan Soto with the big 3-run home run to clinch, the ALCS, but Giancarlo Stanton, to Mr. Fragile, I call him, right? Mr. Injury prone, always gets hurt every single season. He was brought over from the Marlins that Jeter took over operations in the Marlins back then, made the trade to get rid of Stanton to the Yankees, and he hasn't really contributed, but he's been clutch and he's contributed where it counts, which is the postseason. So I guess I should apologize a little bit to Stanton because I've always clowned him as far as injuries, but he's got 5 home runs this playoffs, 11 RBIs, hitting 294. I mean, and that's in 9 games, right? So the Yankees have took care of business a little bit in fewer games than the Dodgers. So Dodgers 11 games as compared to the Yankees at 9. But 5 home runs in 9 games is phenomenal. It's you're hitting a home run in almost every 2 games. So Juan Soto hitting 333 this postseason, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. Gleyber Torres has been good for us. I've always clowned Gleyber Torres because his baseball IQ, but he's hitting 297. He's getting on bases, which is what we want him to do. As a leadoff guy, he's got 1 home run, 5 RBIs, but his job is pretty much to get on base. And that's it. Volpe's hit well in the postseason too. Pretty sleeper. Down. As far as hitting is concerned. The hitting 310 is pretty solid in the bottom of that lineup. So somebody to look out for, a young guy, Volpe. When the Yankees won the last World Series back in 2009, he was there at the game, I believe. He was there in the series, and he was a little kid. So this is a pretty special moment for him as well. To play for the team that he rooted for growing up, rooting for, right? And that's Anthony Volpe, our shortstop. So hitting 310. Hopefully he picks it up. One thing about the Yankees that's been hurting them is, they pretty much all the Yankee teams the last few years, they live and die by the home run, and they're not hitting with men on base. They've been brutal with men, not just men on base, in scoring position, right? With a man in second or third, and less than 2 outs. They're not getting the big hits. So they're relying too much on the long ball. Right, even in the championship series against Cleveland in that Game 5, all their runs were home runs. You're talking about Stanton with a 2-run home run, and Soto with a 3-run home run. That's the 5 runs right there. They need to get hits. They need to produce hits. We need guys like Chisholm to heat up. He's only hitting 147. We need Austin Wells to do better than 091. Like you're hitting 091. We need. These guys to do a little bit better. We need Verdugo to hit better than 194. So this series might come down to pitching. I believe the Yankees got a better pitching staff as far as starters is concerned. Game 1 tonight will be our ace. He was out with injury for most of the year and came back in the end of the season. And we're talking about Garrett Cole, who's pitched well in the postseason. He's 3.3 ERA in the postseason so far in 3 starts. His whip could be better. It's 1.5. That's not pretty good, right? Carlos Rondon, he'll pitch in Game 2, I believe. His ERA is not all that, but he's been solid, right? As far as, the playoffs is concerned. And the reason why the ERA is high because, Rondon's only going like 5 innings, right? He's not getting to that 6th or 7th inning, right? So it's only giving up maybe 3 runs. In 5 innings. That's why ERA is a little bit high. Clark Schmidt's pitched well. Lewis Gill is another arm we got, and our bullpen has been pretty solid too, right? So Weaver and Holmes. Holmes, he scares me a little bit, but he's not our closer. And I know Boone likes to use him a lot, so that'll be interesting. Back in the Dodgers pretty much only got 3 starters. They've not pitched well they have not pitched well either. They got Flaherty tonight. He's got an ERA of 7.04. The big Japanese guy, Yamamoto, 5.11 ERA. He's going to go in Game 2. That's the guy they spend a lot of money in the offseason to bring over. So, expect him to pitch better. They paid him a lot of money. And Walker Buehler, that's the other starter. He's got a 6.00 ERA. So I think it's going to come down to pitching. If I had to make a prediction, I'm picking the Yankees in 7. The Dodgers can hit, they can score runs, right? So if the starting pitching can kind of tame the Dodgers, you know, I expect the I expect the Yankees to win in 7 games, and I think, their depth is better than the Dodgers' depth, especially in the pitching. So, and I think that's what it's all going to come down to. But big spots, in hitting, it's going to come down to the big spots with the stars and the big bats, where they can produce with men on base. So it's going to be a very interesting series. Excuse me. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I'm excited. Juan Soto's, played well. I'm sure, he's going to make a lot more money, in this series, right? If he has a great series, that's only going to, the asking price for whatever money he wants going into next year is going to only increase, right? So, wishing Soto could continue to play well. Aaron Judge, obviously, he's due. He's due to just break out, and hopefully, he can start it off tonight. But that's all I got, guys. I'm excited. I'm ready for the series. It's been a while since 2019, since 2009, 15 years since the Yankees won a World Series, been to a World Series. So, I'm amped and hyped. I'm sure the Dodger fans, they're amped and hyped. It's going to be a great series. RIP to Fernando Valenzuela. I'm sure the Dodgers are going to try to win it for him. RIP to him. He just passed away a few days ago. Great pitcher. He was on that 1981 team. I believe he was a rookie that year when the Dodgers beat the Yankees in that World Series. So I could be wrong, but I know he's fairly young. Ton of strikeouts. He's a big strikeout pitcher. He had that screwball, right? With the arm, which is it's a tough pitch to throw because your arm is rotating, the opposite way of where it should be rotating, right? As a pitcher, that's the best way I can explain it when you throw a screwball. So, but yeah, that's all I got. Good luck to the Yankees. Smash that like button, guys. Come in, smash the like button. Whether you hate the Yankees, love the Yankees, whether you're a Dodger fan or you hate the Dodgers, come in here. We got good baseball talk, boxing talk, football talk. We do it all here. So I figured I'd do this little preview on the Yankees and Dodgers. My prediction, I got the Yankees in 7. This is what Major League Baseball wanted. This is what, the real baseball fans wanted. I think they maximize as far as, money, and it goes all the way to 7 games. So let's go Yankees.